हीरा मंडी में अंग्रेजों का नहीं, मल्लिकाजान का सिक्का चलता है।
Filme Shilmy has been on pretty touchwood on a good roll with getting a lot of UK exclusives. And another one we've got is with the wonderful Shruti Sharma, who has made such a lasting impact as Saima in Heera Mandi on Netflix. Shruti, thank you so much for joining us on Filme Shilmy and choosing us as your first UK exclusive interview.
Thank you so much for having on board, and I'm really, really excited for this one.
Absolutely. The pleasure is all ours. Look, Shruti, I mean, it's a dream, right? To work with Sanjay Leela Bhansali for his first Netflix series, and that too in a very meaty role. Even though you're in a way a supporting character, but yet you've had such a lasting impact. Talk to me about your mindset right now, the reactions that are coming in, and especially on social media. It must be very overwhelming.
Yeah, actually, I really wanted, when we were shooting, I really wanted people to feel connected and sympathize with Saima and love Saima. But the kind of response I'm getting and receiving, the kind of love I'm receiving right now, it's like, it's like I didn't imagine that much. So I'm really, really grateful and overwhelmed right now, like processing it every day. So yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, so talk to me about getting the role of Saima. How did the role happen for you?
It just happened to me. I was shooting for my last television show, and Shruti Mahagan casting team, they contacted me for an audition, and I was not aware about what this audition is about. I just sang and did the part, and then I got shortlisted, and then they told me that, okay, Shruti, this is for Sanjay Leela Bhansali's next show, and I was like, are you are you serious? Like, he is my dream director. Like there's no doubt about it. Everybody loves him, but I have been dreaming to work with him since the age of 12. So I was jumping and crying, and yeah, that's how that happened. And I started shooting for him very soon.
Right. Now, I think with Saima, there's a sense of loyalty that's there. It's interesting that, your collaboration with Netflix also happened with Pagglait
Yeah.
a few years earlier as well. And that performance as well, in that the character that was there was very loyal. And she was a very beautiful, beautiful soul. Um, Also very sacrificial. So for you to bring that essence of loyalty towards Saima, to what extent, if at all, did maybe your preparation for Pagglait, even though it was a very different character and a different role, did that ever come handy for you when it came to Saima?
Um, I think so. I think as an actor, I'm really loyal towards my job. I love my job immensely. So whenever I'm on camera, you can take me as like I'm worshipping my job. Being in front of camera is everything for me. Like, I love every moment. So whenever I play any character, it just happens with me. I don't plan it. I'm not that kind of a method actor or something. I just stand in front of the camera, and I decide that, okay, this is me. This is Saima. This is not Shruti anymore. And it just happens. And I love that transition, because all you need to do as an actor is to feel, honestly like the character. And that's all I think, and it just happens.
Hmm.
I think I'm a loyal person in life. As a person, as Shruti, I'm a very loyal and honest person. I'm very spiritual. So I think all these qualities somewhere, they transit into my character on their own.
Yeah, 100%. Now, when it comes to the sets and the costumes, I think I've had these questions to I think everyone that I've interviewed for Heera Mandi. There's a certain sense of aura that the costumes and the sets that it has, right? For you to get into the sort of life of Saima, because obviously she was obviously a housemaid in that sense, she was not like the one of the main tawaifs in the series, but despite that you still had really beautiful costumes to wear. How did that impact you mentally and emotionally as well in actually getting into the skin of the character too?
I think costumes they help you a lot as an actor. You know, once you are into that costume and the hair and makeup and everything is done, I think from that moment acting starts. You know, then you somewhere you just shed your previous body and you are transformed into that particular character. That's what I feel whenever I, you know, change into costume and I'm ready in front of the mirror. I just look into the mirror and I take a deep breath and I'm like, okay, I'm ready. Let's go to the set. So costumes help a lot. Either if you are wearing a uniform or either you are wearing a sari or a lehenga or anything, you know, which is related to your character, the costumes are the basic route, I think, towards the character. They take you into the character. And Bhansali sir's costumes are like out of the world. You know, it doesn't matter what role are you playing. He focuses on presenting every single character with so much of class and beauty and purity that you will just dive into it once you're in his costumes.
Yeah, no, definitely, absolutely. I think when it comes to Sanjay Leela Bhansali, he's obviously someone who really is passionate towards
Yes.
his craft as a director. I mean, I've heard so many anecdotes about how he would do so many takes, even if there's one thing that's off about the scene, even no matter how trivial it is. For you working with someone like Mr. Bhansali, especially at this stage of your career as well, but it is such a major turning point. Uh, what would you say has helped you a lot, actually, from his guidance that made you think about acting in a very different way?
I think while working with him, like before working with him, I was working like an actor, you know. And when I started shooting with him, he actually, you know, started pointing out the details about my personality, about my voice, about my eyes, and about how I talk or how I look. He started telling me that you're a heroine. You should talk like a heroine. You have a sexy, bassy voice. Use that openly. You have beautiful eyes. You know, be gentle with them, and all these things. Somewhere, I think he actually converted me into a heroine. He told me how to be a heroine, rather not just be an actor, be a heroine. So I was like, okay, I learned that through him.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Hmm.
he's amazing.
And also, I think this is also your first, I think, period character as well, like a historical character as well that you've done. So for you, again, there was a lot involved, I'm sure, in terms of the preparation process. Like, I'm sure there was the diction. I'm sure काफी इमोशनल सीन्स है आपके साथ जो होता है सीरीज में एक सीन में इट वाज वेरी वेरी हैवी
Yeah.
वो डिक्शन सीखने में वो जो इमोशनल डेप्थ जो है उस कैरेक्टर का उन सब चीजों को अनलेयर करते हुए how much did it take a toll on you emotionally as well whilst shooting for this series?
Oh, so actually, जब भी ऐसा कोई बहुत heavy scene आता है, तो वो it is draining for an actor, obviously, because like if we talk about the diction and preparation which I did for Saima, so actually Saima is a talented person. Doesn't matter she's a maid, but she has that inborn talent of singing. She's a true singer. And so I started learning classical music for her so that I should sound like an inborn singer. You know, my vocals should be clean and clear and in rhythm. And diction, because I belong to Uttar Pradesh, Lucknow, so my diction is quite clean, and that came as a privilege for me while shooting for the series. And now, if we talk about the scene, actually, that scene I knew that is a very important scene for Saima's graph. But before that scene, because Saima is just presented as an ordinary girl, वो बहुत साधारण सी लड़की है, you know. Like she has a lot of layers, she has a lot of like colors like a rainbow, एक normal लड़की में होते हैं. But when she enters that room, वहां से मुझे वो transition दिखाना था, you know, like एक साधारण साइमा से एक powerful साइमा में. And I was literally worried about that scene because हर लड़की को अपनी जीवन में वैसी सिचुएशन फेस करने का मौका मिलता नहीं है, एंड कभी मिलना भी नहीं चाहिए, because that is the most worst situation for a woman to be in. And somewhere I just went with the flow, and I was very I was very alert. What am I portraying? You know? I was aware about what Saima is feeling right now, and somewhere I like how should I put it in words, because it's so difficult to put that transition into words. Sometimes what we do, we just as actors, we dive into very very bad memories. We have to pull out all, and खुद को mentally we have to torture somewhere so that we should feel that pain. And all bad memories, you have to pull it out of the box and start reminding about yourself कि अच्छा इस वक्त ऐसा feel हुआ था. Okay, so you can pick emotions from those corners and use them in the current situation. So that's what I did. I think I dived way back into my childhood, my teenage, and all the bad experiences. I just collected them and traumatized myself for that particular scene, so that when I came out, when Saima comes out of the room, like there was no difference between Shruti and Saima at that point.
Whoa.
So yeah.
Whoa. I mean, firstly, I hope you're okay now, because
Oh yes.
because obviously it's not easy, and I think you're right. As when you're performing a piece of art, कहीं ना कहीं एक personality आ ही जाती है, एक छाप पड़ ही जाती है, and I think it also perhaps makes that a little bit easier, because it creates a sense of familiarity for you to base your craft on, right?
Yeah, I agree. Like every character, like मेरा मानना है कि वो किरदार अधूरा है जब तक उसमें आप कलाकार की छाप ना पड़े. जब तक किरदार में आपका अक्स दिखाई ना दे, तब तक वो किरदार अधूरा रह जाता है. So that's what I believe as an actor. So
Yeah, and I think also संजय लीला भंसाली की जो खूबी है, and I think एक जो pertinent theme जो होती है उनकी फिल्मों में और अब serials में is actually the loss of innocence. If you
Yeah.
see in everything, like for example Gangubai Poynton case, the way we show that loss of innocence in Ganga becoming Gangu, it's very interesting, and I think that Heeramandi literally is not just about it, but it's also talking about the gray representation of gray characters as well, which is something very, very empowering as well. Uh, Again, because see, Shruti, you're on a sort of level where you're breaking through as an actor. But when you are surrounded by such esteemed actors on set, like where you've got like Manisha Koirala, for example, Jayati ma'am, who's also a very seasoned artist, जब आप उनके साथ काम करते हो, तो आपको कहीं ना कहीं एक छाप, उनका जो एक mindset है, एक perspective है acting को लेके, what influence does that have on you?
So I'm a very greedy and picky actor. Like if I'm working with brilliant actors and I'm surrounded by them, before the shot, the moment I enter the set, I start observing them. I literally observe them in detailed process. Okay, how are they sitting? How are they talking? What mannerism they have? And as an actor, what process they might follow. And when we start shooting, I just somewhere I start sharing the kind of energy they are bringing to me. I just use their energy to feel how are they feeling at that particular moment, so that I can utilize that feeling for my character. Like it's all these processes and techniques are very difficult to put it in words, because some things you just can't put in words. You just can do that because all these things are about feelings and energies. But yeah, that's what I do. And because when you work with such brilliant and experienced actors, they have a lot to serve on the table. And if you are smart enough to utilize those experiences for your own self, that's all you need while shooting.
100%.
So, yeah.
And I think आपकी जो journey है ना बहुत कमाल की है. I remember watching India's Next Superstars when it came on Star Plus, and it was quite a novel concept in that sense, because I mean, of course, we've had like Cinestars ki Khoj, back in the day. But I think with two big filmmakers like Karan Johar and Rohit Shetty coming together as the judges for a reality show like this, I mean, it was quite a big hoop at that point. I believe you were the first runner-up, right, or one of the runner-ups of India's Next Super.
Actually, there were no runner-ups in the show, so there were only two winners. But because I performed so well, so they gave me a special title out of that. So that was a special mention winner thing. So
Right.
yeah.
Right. Okay, cool. So you were a special winner, right, on India's Next Superstar. Um,
Yeah.
but I think when you look back to the Shruti then who began, to the Shruti now, who's obviously worked with a dreamy filmmaker like Mr. Bhansali, uh, what changes do you feel there've been in you as a person? And has things gone to your expectation in this industry and you kind of working as an actor as well?
So I was very raw when I entered India's Next Superstars. Like I just came to Bombay, and within 2 days I got selected. It just happened to me, and I had no idea about makeup, about styling. I just had my talent in my core. That's it, nothing else. But when I stepped out, I was aware about how this industry works. I learned so much from that one particular show that I planned my whole life, that I knew how am I going to place myself in the industry, and the journey might be difficult for me because I have my own rules to follow as an actor. But like that Shruti was very raw, very innocent, and very giving. And now I'm way mature. I am giving, I'm still giving, I'm still innocent, but I know how to handle people now. I know how to handle situation. I'm mature enough to present myself. I have learned a lot of techniques and arts, and that has helped me to grow more as an actor. You know, because acting is just like at that time I only know how to act. Just to throw myself on the stage. But now I know how to control every inch of my body while acting. So that's what I've learned in 6 years. And it's an amazing, incredible journey for me. Like I was nothing, and now I'm working within 4 years, I started working with Sanjay sir, and I gave the last 2 years to him. So I think I'm a blessed child on this earth.
Oh, definitely. But I think also credits goes to your ability to really understand the craft and to present yourself so beautifully on screen. I think also the fact that you after India's Next Superstars, you got to work in quite a few TV shows as well. I think Ye Jadoo Hai Jinka you were also in. Nazar 2 you were in. Namak Issk Ka. Again, these were quite well-known shows. Like I've heard of the names. I think my mom, yeah. So I've heard a lot about these shows, and I'm sure they also had a good audience as well. But because they were they were supernatural, and you also played an IPS officer at one point as well. Because you've lived so many of these lives, to what extent has these diversity and this versatility of roles that you've done on Indian television and not just adhered as the typical bahu on on TV, do you think that also really uh maybe fascinated you a lot about the craft of acting and maybe made you more alert to different types of people in this world and different types of genres and styles as well?
Yes, like I learned a lot from television. Television taught me a lot. It taught me how to be a spontaneous actor, like how to be always on your tiptoes and how to utilize your emotions and control your emotions as an actor. And I'm so grateful that like within 4 years, I played 4 different characters with different genres, and people loved it so much. They adored me. And somewhere in past 2 years, when I was just sitting at home and I was doing Heera Mandi, my audience, television audience, were actually texting me and missing me so much, and torturing me to come back on TV. And to stop myself from doing that was a big task for me. So that has been incredible. And as an actor, when you play so many different characters, it's like shedding your skin in every show. And I love that. I want to keep acting till I grow old. So it's just the start for me. It's just the start for me. I'm ready for like I want to somewhere take my last breath in front of the camera. So I'm
Hmm.
that kind of crazy into acting.
Yeah, I think passion is so important. Like, because otherwise, अगर passion नहीं है तो फिर आप क्यों कर रहे हो वो चीज, है ना? Like, it's very important to have that वो जज्बा जो कहते हैं.
You know, an actor is an actor. It doesn't matter what medium he's coming from. If that particular actor is talented, that person is deserved, you know, that person deserves more chances and more opportunities. And I remember our conversations when we used to sit in the vanity, me, Jayati ma'am, and sometimes Nitesh sir, and sometimes Pratibha. We used to talk about all these things ki क्या होगा, कैसे होगा, कैसा दिखेगा, हम सही कर रहे हैं कि नहीं, और क्या करना चाहिए. So बहुत ही खूबसूरत यादें हैं वो.
हाँ.
And we rocked it.
Yeah, no, you did. Like honestly, like आप लोग इतना घुस गए थे ना उस कैरेक्टर में, मैं अब आपको सिर्फ उस कैरेक्टर के नाम से ही recognize करता हूँ. You know, it's to that level, it's had an impact. And I think that's so wonderful. But you know, Shruti, you know, I think Heera Mandi is a dream for any actor, right? But surely, is in दो या तीन जो successful या whichever how many successful projects that you may have, I'm sure there must have been stories about rejections, of hardship that you must have gone through. I would like to know about that. See, जब आपका अच्छा वक्त चलता है तो सब आपके साथ होते हैं, लेकिन जब आपका बुरा वक्त चलता है तो फिर आपका सिर्फ एक साया होता है. So how do you deal with that?
ये बहुत सच है. और मतलब मैं बहुत खुश नसीब हूँ कि जब इंडिया नेक्स्ट सुपरस्टार में मैं 5 बार रिजेक्ट हुई. And like I got selected, then they rejected me. Like they used to call me, then they used to reject me, and somewhere I knew that when they selected me, also they were looking for someone who will get eliminated at the first round, and I knew about that, and that's why during the whole journey, in every episode, I gave my 200%, and I think with every show, हर शो के साथ साथ मैंने ऐसे ही काम किया है. लेकिन इन 2 सालों में यू नो टेलीविजन की जो काम होता है ना, वो इट्स लाइक अ स्कूल. यू हैव टू गो देयर एवरी डे. मतलब छुट्टियां नहीं होती उसमें. यू डोंट हैव योर पर्सनल लाइफ एंड it's difficult. But when I was sitting at home for 2 years and I have to just wait for my shoot, because Sanjay sir took a lot of time to shoot that particular web series. He took 2 years, and we were not shooting every day. We were shooting like 5 days in a month or 10 days in a month, and then rest of the days I have to sit at home. And I'm a very overhyped actor. I want to work every day, and that time, you know, I was auditioning for a lot of other things as well. I was trying to, you know, crack some things, but some people rejected me because I was coming from television. Some people rejected me. So there are rejection. But I believe that rejection is a part of my job. You know, so whatever I do, I give my audition and then I forget about it. If I'll get selected, they will text me. If I will not get selected, then I have forgotten about it.
Mm. But I
So,
think that's also because you're such a positive person, Shruti, from what I'm seeing of you, right? But I think एक होता है ना कि कभी-कभी बहुत, you know, you need that sense of someone being there with you. You know, you need that comfort. Who would you say provides you with that comfort? You know, जब आप अकेले होते हो.
my mama, like she's always with me, and I am so grateful that my family is so supportive. Like my father and my brother, they live in Lucknow, but my brother is always there on call with me whenever I need him. And my father is always there to support me. And my mother, she lives with me only, you know. And since last 2 years, there were moments where I broke down and I was self-doubting in myself that am I walking in the right path? Do I really need this transition in my life? Do I really need to leave television and step into this thing, because this is taking a toll on me? And they were there to, you know, keep me calm. It's okay, it's worth it. Trust me, it's worth it. And there were so many things going on my mind that I know it's my favorite director's project. Will I be able to pull it off? People are going to see my worth in that particular show? These were the questions running through my mind, and there were moments where I actually broke down. But my family was there, and I have lovely friends in my life. I'm surrounded with very lovely people. They were there to pull me up. It's okay, you deserve more. Don't settle for less. And I was like, okay, I will go.
Bless you. No, I think बहुत बहुत जरूरी होता है, अच्छे लोगों को, अच्छे, जैसे कहते हैं, जैसी सोबत वैसा असर. So I think it's important to have your priorities straight, the people that you surround yourself with as well. So I completely agree with that. और आजकल श्रुति, I think कमाल की चीज ये है कि it's so nice whenever I hear actors actually talking about the craft, because I feel like what's happening nowadays, it's becoming so PR driven. आजकल सोशल मीडिया को लेके, पीआर को लेके, एआई को लेके, I feel everything has become a substitute for acting. How has it ever been a concern for you? I think because see, when you broke through with India's Next Superstars, वो वक्त थोड़ा सा अलग था. See, social media था, but it wasn't as heavy and we weren't as reliant on it then as we are now.
Obviously, like कभी कभी वो bother भी करता है क्योंकि somewhere because of the social media, people are forgetting the difference between an actor and an influencer and a model. They need to remember that all these jobs are different from each other. An actor has to be like water. An actor should be flexible enough to fit in any kind of role. If an actor needs to put up gain some weight or lose some weight or change her or his look, that is the job of an actor. And to stay in a particular shape is the job of a model. And then this new category arises in our society that is called influencers, and which is a very difficult job, I believe. What these influencers are doing is commendable because they are working so hard every day. But the fact which saddens me is because the line is somewhere vanishing between these three particular jobs. Now, it's so, if we go to the retro era, every actor has their own style. Every other actor, they had their own charm. If we talk about Mr. Shah Rukh Khan sir or Mr. Ajay Devgan sir, they had their own style. But nowadays, everybody kind of look similar because everybody is trying to follow the same trend. And that particular trend is somewhere, taking out their own style. You have nothing of your own because you are just walking in the same line. And I don't want to be a part of it. Somewhere I really want people to remember me as an actor, which is difficult in nowadays because I get a lot of calls on my social media for being an influencer, and I'm like, I'm not an influencer. I'm just an actor. I want people to remember me as an actor. And if we talk about PR, trust me, after Heera Mandi, I decided that I don't need a PR because I really wanted to see the genuine reaction of people. I really wanted to see how impactful Saima can be on screen and how many people are going to reach out to me in a very genuine way. And the kind of response I received, I was so right. If you are talented and if you have done good work, it doesn't matter you have a PR or not. You will reach to people and people will reach out to you because that's how the whole world has been working till now. If we talk about Mr. Rajesh Khanna, all the superstars, they became superstars because there was no social media. And now we have social media, so that's why we don't have a superstar.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think also what's happened is that I think there was this, and I said this quite a few times before in interviews, that there was a sense of mystery attached to the superstars. आजकल सब इतना accessible हो गया है. I feel like ये technology का थोड़ा सा एक downside भी है कि सब कुछ accessible हो जाता है. You kind of miss that inaccessibility, right?
Yes. I really like that mysterious part of a personality. People should think about it. People should crave about it. Where, अच्छा, अब वो क्या करी है? बहुत दिनों से दिखी नहीं, या वो बहुत दिनों से दिखे नहीं. अब तो वैसा every time they can open our Instagram and they can see, oh, ये यहाँ घूम रही है.
हाँ, बिल्कुल. और एक खूबी की बात बताऊं, आपने सुपरस्टार का जिक्र किया ना, मैं कंपेयर बिल्कुल भी नहीं कर रहा हूँ, of course not. But जब मैं को आपकी आंखों को देखता हूँ, especially when you were talking, and I look at your smile, it's like a very interesting mix of Aishwarya's eyes and
Oh,
Juhi Chawla's smile. Like
oh,
it's a very beautiful mix between the two. और मैं बस flattered बोलने के लिए नहीं कह रहा हूँ ये चीज, एक genuine observation है. I
hi,
just want to just let you know that.
it's a big thing for me.
No, you definitely have that charm. There's definitely something that you have. Your screen presence was excellent. But I think also, Shruti, we are in a very fascinating phase of cinema generally because grey characters अब ज्यादा उभर के आ रही हैं. जो conversation हुआ करती थी पहले के female characters को लेके, especially on in Hindi cinema, we're now being unabashedly grey. You know, I just recently I did an interview with Supriya Pathak ji for her film Baby Crasto, where she plays a very grey character, like a very dark character in that. Challenges अभी Zendaya की फिल्म आई थी, उसमें उस ग्रे कैरेक्टर प्ले किया. हीरा मंडी में तो ग्रे से ग्रे है कैरेक्टर्स, कहाँ से हम शुरू करें? So how do you feel about the emergence of grey characters, especially for women in Indian cinema now and internationally as well?
I think if you talk about the old times, the people were idealizing women. They were presenting a very idealistic picture for a woman that, oh, a woman can be like this only. But nowadays, women are getting more exposure because we are trying to explore the real side of women and of the world. And obviously, this world is full of gray characters. Every human being has a gray and dark side, to his personality. And if we are trying to write more stories about the real world, the reality, you can never see an ideal picture because the world is not white. The world is white. It's not white and black. The world is gray. So obviously you will get to see more and more gray characters the more you will try to dive into the reality. And I think it is a very interesting thing because now our cinema has changed and somewhere has started approaching towards the more realistic genre of acting, very natural genre of acting where they are not afraid of portraying the dark side of women as well. That yes, women can be, they can be envious, they can be jealous because yes, women are humans too, and they can have all those dark sides as well. And we have such brilliant actors in our industry who are able to pull it off so amazingly on screen. Like Supriya ma'am is like amazing, and Mallikajaan, like Manisha ma'am did a fabulous job as Mallikajaan, and Sonakshi ma'am did amazing as, and Sanjeeda ma'am did and all these people in their real life, they are so humble, kind, and so innocent looking people, and when they're on screen they are pulling it off like anything. So I think this is a great transition which is happening in our industry. So yeah.
100%. I think it's a very good transition. Working with Bhansali is like a huge dream for any other actor, as we've mentioned throughout this interview. Sometimes, a lot of people have seen Bhansali as like the pinnacle of working with or of a director to work with. आपने, I think, what तकरीबन 4 सालों में ये ख्वाब accomplish कर दिया, वो हो गया. What would you say is now your ambition as an actor? What is now driving you? I mean, of course, it's not bound by people, but it's such a big deal. It's like now it kind of makes you think, कि अब क्या करना है आगे, right?
हाँ, सीरियसली मैंने इस तरह से सोचा नहीं. मैं एक्चुअली इतना सोचती नहीं बिकॉज आई थिंक आई एम बीइंग वेरी ऑनेस्ट. लाइक पिछले 6 सालों में मैंने जितना काम किया है, आई हैव नेवर प्लान्ड अ सिंगल थिंग. दे जस्ट मेरे सामने अपॉर्चुनिटीज आई एंड आई पिक्ड द वन जो मुझे सही लगा. और आगे भी एज एन एक्टर मैं यही करना चाहूंगी कि जब भी मेरे पास अपॉर्चुनिटीज आएंगी, आई वुड लाइक and I would be alert and aware enough to choose the right thing for me. Like you said, I'm starting from a very high standard in my Bollywood career, so I will make sure that I only pick the right roles for myself and entertaining roles where people can relate themselves to me and my character, and they enjoy my work, and that's it. That's all I can do as an actor, because if I'll keep comparing Sanjay sir's charisma with other directors, somewhere I will, that will be wrong, because every director has their own essence, every director has their own power, and you can't compare to people. You can't compare to people's capabilities. Like Mr. Suji Sarkar is there, he has his own charm, and Imtiaz Ali sir is there, he has his own power and charisma. So I can't compare them. And I would love to work with all of them,
बिल्कुल, no, of
all
course.
great directors, and I'm going to do that.
ये होगा. No, actually आज हम ये ऐलान करते हैं इस इंटरव्यू में, ये होके रहेगा. और आप
Yes,
लोग कुछ
let's
देर बाद
manifest it.
और आप लोग कुछ देर बाद फिल्मी शिल्मी के ऊपर ये इंटरव्यू देखोगे और आपने कहा कि okay, I heard it here first.
Yeah.
Which is great. No, but I think also I think it's very empowering because क्या हो रहा है कि सब अब हर जगह आप देख लो एक ऑलमोस्ट एक मूवमेंट सा बन गया है कि हम सब इंट्रोस्पेक्ट कर रहे हैं हमारे रूट्स की तरफ फिर से कोशिश कर रहे हैं उसकी तरफ खींच के वापस आने का. And I think that's also translating in the sort of actors that we are seeing that are emerging as big successes. Pratibha, who was in Lapata Ladies and in Heera Mandi as well, she done so well. Sparsh again did so well in Lapata Ladies. He had Air Watan Mere Watan recently. You, for example, in Heera Mandi as well. तो आपके लिए ये कितना एक empowering चीज है actually आपके लिए, to see, आम people, आम जनता who have that छोटा सा ख्वाब एक एक्टर बनने के लिए अब एक बड़ा सा रीच और एक बड़ा इम्पैक्ट क्रिएट कर रहे हैं अपने रोल्स की तरफ. And what advice would you give to other aspiring actors out there? Because there's often that notion कि बॉलीवुड एक बहुत खराब जगह है और बॉम्बे में बहुत खतरा है. There's that whole notion which to an extent I don't know fully because I don't live there, but there is that whole myth that's there. So how would you like to bust that myth? So दो part to the questions.
First of all, जितने भी aspiring actors हैं, I just want you all to know that जितनी चकाचौंध आपको दिखती है, बहुत ऊपरी लेयर है, बहुत मेहनत है, बहुत patience है. You need a lot of passion towards acting to keep thriving into the industry, and there are no shortcuts to fame, not at all. You have to wait for your chance to shine. You have to be patient enough to wait for the right role. And when I was about to join the industry, my father told me this one single line: "Beta, this industry is no different from other industries of this world. The situations are same. It's just that you have to be alert, and आप जैसे हो, आपको वैसे ही लोग मिलेंगे. और कभी अगर बुरे लोग मिल भी गए, तो उसे बुरा एक्सपीरियंस समझ के वहां से हट जाए." So he just told me to be who I am, to choose the right path, to walk on the right path. And that is it. I've been doing that. And as an actor, I think all you have to do is that. Walk on your right path and be alert and love your job. That's all you can do as an actor.
Amazing.
And if I talk about
the common man finally getting their voices heard.
So I think like how to put it in words is मुझे लगता है कि आम आदमी को पर्दे पर लाने के लिए आपको अपने अंदर का आम आदमी जिंदा रखना पड़ता है. Somewhere हम सब आम ही हैं. मैं तो आम ही जगह से उठकर आई हूँ. So I don't find any difference in my own personality. मैं आज भी आम ही तरीके से जीवन जीती हूँ. So and somewhere I really want to keep doing that, because इस इंडस्ट्री में हमें किरदार कहाँ से मिलेंगे? हमें किरदार आम लोगों से ही मिलने वाले हैं. तो जितना हम आम रहेंगे, हम उतना उनसे कनेक्ट कर पाएंगे. जितना हमें सामाजिक स्थितियों के बारे में पता रहेगा, उतना ज्यादा हम उतनी ईमानदारी से उस किरदार को निभा पाएंगे. So that's all I keep in mind, and that's all I think. As an actor, that is my job, and I think जितने भी actors हैं, कहीं ना कहीं जो इस चीज को समझते हैं, वो इस चीज को बहुत अच्छे से पर्दे पर उकेर पाते हैं. And that is true. If you ever see interviews of Mr. Amir Khan sir or the directors, the great directors we have, they all talk same language. Somewhere they keep traveling around the world to meet people, to see the situations in the society so that they can write stories about them. So as an actor, we have to do the same thing. We just have to maintain that bridge between, the fame and, we just don't need to get lost in the fame. Just stay connected to your roots.
And this is exactly why we've had the superstars we've had, because they were connected to their roots. Chahe Govinda ko le lo, Govinda ko le lo. Even Shah Rukh sir, when he began his career as well. I mean, these were very much real. There was a sense of realism even in the larger than life image that was portrayed. I think that's what is very important. And I think your character in Saima is the voice of the Aam Janta, of the Heeramandi at that time, of the Lahore at that time. So
Yeah, true.
I think that's exactly what really makes you very special, Shruti. But look, thank you so much for joining me on Filme Shilmy. It's been such a pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for sharing your insights with us.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you so much for making my first UK interview so exciting and entertaining and memorable. Thank you so much, and I'm really grateful. Thank you.
Honor is ours. Thank you.